Hello everyone. Right, the midterm is approaching soon. As I make an announcement, let me give you my announcement first. There is an announcement. If you click announcements, and there are 3 possible time slots that you can choose. You need to choose one and only one. And once you come in and open to start your exam, you have to finish it. Otherwise, you have no points, no credits. Okay. So, but those who have any problem, any issues on the schedule, any one of these, then you need to text me before the first time slot approaches. Okay, this is the special announcement. Right. So for review, this is the first module that we looked at. Right. It tells us what is Unix and Linux. So I want you to understand that. By the way, this is open book test and open resource. You can use your Linux, Ubuntu, or anything that you want, but it should be Linux, one of the Linux distribution. The types of questions, I believe many of the questions are short answer type, which means I can ask you to form a Linux command to do the work XYZ. Then you have to write a command, Linux command. Okay, all Linux command. So short answer and true/false type of questions, and I believe yeah, basically that, and probably there is one multiple choice. All right. This is the way that you can access your Ubuntu. I know those who wants to do, for example, I want to work on something that requires super user privileges. Then you need to set up VMware or from Oracle. There is a VM one of the types of virtual machine, VM machine, for example. Okay, so you need to download it and install, and further you can install Ubuntu. Oracle VM VirtualBox, that is free, as you can see here, right? So once you download and install, then you are automatic. As you install, it asks you to enter the first user ID and password. That is your user ID, and your password, that is what you know. Although it is not the only super user, which is a root, ROOT, but you can give your name and your password. Automatically it is in the sudoers list, so you don't have to worry about that, and you can do whatever you want. You can install all others as well, right? This is what I am talking about. But if you in another way, some students have Mac OS, then Mac provides you I think 80 or 90% equivalent to Linux operating systems. Only the difference is command, but I would not ask something that is unique on Mac OS, so you don't have to worry about it. So what you need to do is you need to log in using Checkpoint Secure Remote and connect to, everyone has this silo to VPN and password required. And if you click connect, then progress bar goes all the way to the end, 100%. That is fun. And then using PuTTY, you can get into the department lab server. Okay, open and enter your username that I distributed to you a long time ago. Then you will have this. Right now, if I can see any, for example, 20 people are logged in, less than it shows. Okay. Command that you can do from here, right? If you have a sequence of Linux command, and then there is also called the shell command, Linux shell. You can do that also. There's a lot of commands that you have to understand what PWD and ls, cd means, and there are a lot of options available. Sometimes you don't need to memorize all, but you can simply look at, for example, what is ls. Then ls is ls directory content. So it gives you some options, right? So you have to read. Once you understand, then you can use it. There is also a long listing format. For example, if that came open to you, then ls, there's an option -l, then it gives you a long list of the directory content in a long format. If I simply say ls, then it gives you a short format. ls -l, then it gives you a long format. So, for example, there's some data files and who owns and in what group, and then there is a privilege code, right? First one character tells us either directory or the file, and then next 3 bytes as the privileges that myself has next to 3 for my group, and the last 3 bytes for everybody, to the public. Okay, so that is that. And another one is and there is some Linux versions also described, and some of command, and then there's a structure. Okay, top slash, and under there is a bin directory, home directory, and more, and under home have some others, and myself, Jae-yoon. Jae-yoon has sh underscore probe subdirectories, and from this, if you want to, let's say I am here, but I want to go up, then how can I go up, and how can I change the directory? How can I copy, for example, one file here, where if I am currently my PWD is here, then how can I copy from the child directory to, or the parent directories? In that case, you have to use either absolute path expression or relative path expression. Relative means from here, if you want to, for example, this is relative. If I have here, then let's say I have a directory called Python, right? So if I type Python, then Python has some py files, right? So if I want to copy where I am, right now I'm here at home, and Jae-yoon, and has these directories, right? So, and also I know for sure Python this has this file. So how can I copy a file contained in the subdirectory to myself, for example, cp python / sum, and myself is simply dot, so that is myself, right? So when I see this, then I have a file. I'm going to remove this, right? Remove the file, sum, then let it go, right? This type of command will be asked. More commands help. Also alias commands is very important. If you have a long commands that is repeatedly asked, then you may say, oh, I want to, rather than every time I type this, I can simply say port if I set the alias like this, right? There are some examples available that will be asked. And in this module, we have also similar command that we do redirect standard input and output. I wanted to practice that. And some pipelining and echoes. Basically that. And then Linux 4. So another like a permission commands that I wanted to find out. How can we set the permission, for example? Okay, numeric file permission. So what do we mean by, for example, if that is a 644, and explains that here. Some practice, right? If I have, what do you mean by 6? 6 means we can write and read, for example. And some exercises here. VI editor also practiced a lot of times. And process. We can make a foreground, background if you want to kill some of the process. That is also possible, right? Yeah, bash file is, for example, bash rc. That is a startup file. So whatever you want to set up and run from the beginning, then you need to set that file properly. Alright. So basically that is it. Let me find out if you need any other. Basically, this is open book and open notes, open resource. So, and also give you 3 hours test. I think you can solve it most likely, right? You do not have to worry about. But you have to do at least what to do when you are asked you to do, right? Because unless otherwise you do not have enough time, right? But the questions are not really tough. Those are all basic commands that we discussed in the class, so it's not really the hard problems. If you do not answer very well, then it means you do not know basic commands that are required for Linux administrator. Okay. I hope you have good exercise to prepare your midterm, and therefore you can make your midterm a success. Okay? Alright. Good luck.